Forgiveness is one of the most powerful acts we can offer and receive, yet it's often the hardest. The Bible is filled with teachings on forgiveness, both the forgiveness we offer others and the forgiveness we receive from God. Today we'll explore what the Bible teaches us about the power of forgiveness and why it's so essential to our lives. Forgiveness isn't just a suggestion in the Bible, it's a command. In Matthew 18:21-22, Peter asks Jesus, "Lord, how many times shall I forgive my brother or sister who sins against me? Up to 7 times?" Jesus replies, "I tell you, not 7 times, but 77 times." This exchange teaches us that forgiveness isn't about keeping count. It's about a heart willing to forgive endlessly, just as God forgives us. Forgiveness is an act of grace, and it reflects the heart of God. It's not about who deserves it, but about breaking the chains of bitterness and hurt. Jesus illustrates this point further with the parable of the unforgiving servant in Matthew 18:23-35. A servant is forgiven a massive debt by his king, but when a fellow servant owes him a small amount, he refuses to forgive. The king, upon hearing this, is furious and reinstates the servant's debt. This parable shows us that forgiveness is a reflection of God's mercy. We've been forgiven much by God, and in turn we are called to forgive others. Holding on to unforgiveness not only harms our relationships but also separates us from the grace we've been given. The cost of unforgiveness is high. It doesn't just affect the person we refuse to forgive, it affects us. Unforgiveness breeds bitterness, anger, and resentment. It traps us in a cycle of pain and separation. In Hebrews 12:15, the Bible warns us, "See to it that no one falls short of the grace of God, and that no bitter root grows up to cause trouble and defile many." When we refuse to forgive, we're the ones imprisoned. It's like drinking poison and expecting the other person to be harmed. But when we forgive, we break free from that cycle and allow healing to begin. Forgiveness is not only a command, it's also healing. When we forgive, we release ourselves from the pain of the past and open ourselves to the possibility of peace and restoration. In Colossians 3:13, Paul writes, "Bear with each other and forgive one another if any of you has a grievance against someone. Forgive as the Lord forgave you." When we forgive, we reflect the character of God, and we create space for God to work in our hearts. Forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting or ignoring the hurt. It means choosing to let go of the debt and allowing God to heal our wounds. The ultimate example of forgiveness is found in Jesus. As he hung on the cross, suffering for the sins of the world, he prayed, "Father, forgive them, for they do not know what they are doing." Luke 23:34. In this moment, Jesus wasn't just forgiving the people who crucified him. He was offering forgiveness to all of humanity. His death and resurrection paved the way for us to receive God's forgiveness, no matter our past or our sins. When we grasp the magnitude of God's forgiveness toward us, it transforms our hearts and empowers us to forgive others, no matter how difficult it may seem. Forgiveness is often a process, not a one-time event. But how do we move forward when the hurt runs deep? Step 1. Acknowledge the pain first. Acknowledge the pain. Forgiveness doesn't ignore the wrong that's been done. It faces it honestly. Step 2. Surrender the hurt to God. Next, surrender your hurt to God. We don't have the strength to forgive on our own, but through God's grace we can. Step 3. Choose to forgive. Finally, make the choice to forgive. It may take time, but choosing forgiveness is the key to finding freedom and healing. The power of forgiveness lies not only in its ability to heal relationships, but in its ability to set us free. As the Bible teaches us, forgiveness is a gift we receive from God, and a gift we're called to offer to others. So as you move forward, ask yourself, who do I need to forgive today? And how can I embrace the freedom that comes with it? If you find this helpful, please share, like, and subscribe for more uplifting Bible verses and spiritual guidance.